Well, you never know what you're going to get in the markets. And so far, we are going to keep on climbing up in here. We actually had a high in here in the overall market in SPY of about 681 today, even though we closed basically right below that 680 level. We're sitting here at the 679s. And then in after hours, as we're making this video, basically staying in those upper 679. So going forward, we're going to take what we can get in here. But overall, nice little pop. We're going to see how we end up closing this candle and how we start to open up next week. But all in all, another good day in here for the good guys. Now, as far as our resistances and supports go on this weekly chart in here, to the upside, we're looking at basically 689 and then 695 up here. But overall, we do need to hold this big 9-day EMA sitting at 666. That's kind of like the main level, right? We have the 672, which has held a lot of support in the past, but really this 9-day EMA, you can see how much weight it has held in here since February. If we do end up breaking back below there, then obviously we're going to be setting up to the downside. But as long as we can hold that, then we should be good in here. And especially anything below that 9-day EMA, we're looking at this 50-day SMA here sitting at 651. So as long as we stay basically above those two moving averages going forward, we should be all right. A little consolidation up here in the 680s or even between the 672 and then that 678 mark. We'll take that as well. But overall, we want to see a nice little gap up tomorrow or perhaps a little climb back into the 680s and hold. But if not, hey, we're going to take 672, 678 and just kind of roll with that in there. As long as we're above that 9-day EMA sitting at 666, we'll take a nice good close in here on the week, especially since the month that we had in the past here were just a big drawdown, right? Even into those upper 630s. So all in all, that's kind of what happened in the market today. Nice little pop. We're going to go across the board here, just kind of see what all happened in here. When you get a pop in the market, you are always going to get a what? A downturn in the VIX. That's what happened here. You can see on the week, we're now trading below 20. So we said, hey, the new norm is going to be the 23 to 28s. We said that back at the beginning of March. You can see that's more or less where we stayed, even though we had that kind of two strays in here, outlier days where we got up into the 30s. Other than that, we were in between the 23 and 28s. Now we have crashed back down here. We are below 20. So anything above 20, we're just going to, chalk it up as a little bit of indifference. If we stay below, that's fine. But more or less, it comes down to this 50-day SMA and this 200 SMA right here, sitting at the 1850s, basically, each of them, 18 and a half. If we stay above them, then yeah, we're good, right? We're okay. We're just going to stay where we're at. But if we start breaking down even further, then to the downside in here, we're going to chalk it up basically to that nice big 15 level. It seems like a 15 VIX for the past few years has been almost normacy, right? So that is going to be our main level to the supports in here or to the downside. But if we, as long as we stay above this 50-day SMA, then hey, you know what I mean? We'll take what we can get in here as far as our options prices being juiced and things like that. But obviously, once we start breaking down below to the 15, then you kind of have to worry because now you're looking for that whipsaw motion, right? So that you've always got to kind of find that nice balance before you start getting the swings to one side or the other, right? So right now, we're trading just below 20. If we stay below 20, hey, or we climb back above 20 and stay there, yeah, we'll take indifference until here. And then that 50-day and 200-day moving average, yeah, we're going to say that that's basically going to be the norm. But anything outside there to the 15, then we got to start to worry about when this thing is going to kind of rip up again. So obviously, that's what we had in VIX in here today, that nice big pullback with the pop in the market. We're going to look at the NASDAQ in here, or the the ETF of the NASDAQ. You can see overall nice green week in here, just because of what we had with the SPY, right? And more or less kind of the same moral in here. The 9-day EMA holding a lot of weight. We are now way above that. Next up for us, as far as resistance wise goes in here, we are going to be looking at the 613. Then we have 618 to the downside. Nice big psych level of 600. Anything outside of there is going to be that 9-day EMA. And then below there, you're looking down here right around that 588 mark is what everybody is pricing in here. Also, we have to kind of keep an eye on the bonds because we had that pop in the market today. And then also TLT popped there midday, but also did pull back. So we did have that nice little big run in here in TLT today. We were trading pretty high up in the close to the 87s there for quite a while. And then you had that sharp pullback We were trading, actually, we trade above 87. I'm sorry. So just a little bit outside of 8, we had 87.13 in here for a high of the day. So even though we had that nice little pop over there midday, we did pull back pretty sharply when the market started to fade. So that overall is good. That means, hey, the market's starting to turn. It's starting to be kind of normal, right? I wouldn't say particularly healthy because it's all news based right now, but overall, we're getting back to where normalcy is relevant, right? So that's a good thing for us in here. But again, things could change. It's kind of a day by day thing in here. To the upside of TLT, you're looking at the 9-day EMA sitting at 87.17. Above that, the 50-day SMA sitting at 87.81. To the downside, you are looking right at 86.90. I'm sorry, 85.90. And then anything outside of there, you're looking at that $85 handle. Last but not least, we are going to take a look at USO in here just because oil has been such a prevalent news story, right? Just with the war and things going on in the Strait of Hormuz being closed and things like that. You can see a nice little rejection here this week off of our trend line. That's always good when things actually match up with your trend line and actually respect those trend lines, right? So that is good. Nice little pullback in here off our trend line that we had in here last week. We are now trading in 126. We were up in those 140s for just a little while this past week, and then had a nice sharp pullback in here today. Overall, that's kind of what we've expected, right? Ever since the start of this war, market up, oil up, market down, and then we're just kind of letting the VIX and bonds kind of do their thing accordingly. So overall, it looks like everything is kind of reverting back to the way it should be. But again, things could change. I know Saturday is the big meeting in Pakistan with the leaders of Iran and, of course, JD Vance, Jared Kushner, things like that. So we're going to see how that turns out. But again, it's going to be a day by day thing here. But overall, we'll take a nice green day in here for the markets, even though we did get a nice, huge pullback in our VIX. But hey, it's still a little bit elevated at 19. We'll take that. So we'll trade off there. And then we also got the TLT popping with the markets and then pulling back. So that's also a good sign. And then you had oil obviously pulling back. That needs to definitely revert back to the mean. And then we can worry about what's going to go on with there. So overall, we'll take this, I guess, traditional market setup. It's looking like at the moment. Obviously, things could change, but we'll take this and then we'll play this thing accordingly as we end this week and then open up the next week. So overall, that's what we have in the markets. All right, guys, if you like this video, make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We also have a Discord service if you're interested, and you can find all of our socials in the description below.